When it comes to the lady who had a freak out on her flight, the biggest question still remains. Where is she? You are now within minutes of horror, and your only chances of survival is hitting that like button. With that being said, let's continue on with the video. Now, if you have been subscribed to me for quite a while now, you will have seen I have made quite a few videos on this lady who freaked out on her flight. But not only her, but also Tom Cowling, the British boxer who had a freak out on his flight, and now Carly Russell, because there is a lot of mystery here. But when it comes to the lady who freaked out on her flight, there is a lot still that can be said, and a lot that has been said in such a short clip, which I find fascinating. But as I said in the introduction, there is one question that still lingers, and that question is, where is she? Is she in some underground prison? Is she too embarrassed to speak out? Are her friends and family also embarrassed to speak out? Or does she not even exist at all? Now, in the media's own words, and when I say the media's own words, is because I take anything that the media tells us with a grain of salt. I'm not just going to flat out believe anything they say. But when it comes to Tom Cowling, the official report on Tom Cowling is that he's being held in a Croatian jail for disturbing the peace on his flight. Even though on the flight we can clearly see him in a lime shirt, and we see two people tackling him that looks like him, and one of those that look like him are wearing a white shirt. And in a photo that we see of him being escorted by police, this person being escorted by police, who is said to be Tom, is wearing a white shirt. But that's for another conspiracy for another day. The point is, we know everything about Tom, everything that's happening to Tom. We know his name. We have seen family and friends speak out saying he's a clean living Christian guy. We know a lot more about this man who took an international flight to Croatia than we know about this woman in America. Us Americans know more about Tom Cowling than this woman in America who took an American Airlines flight. And by all accounts, more people have been searching her, have been looking her up, as opposed to Tom Cowling. So with that being said, why do we still not know this woman's name? Why has no family or friends come out into her defense or have spoken out saying they have known her? That yes, she might have had too much to drink. Yes, she's known to have psychotic episodes. Nobody is speaking out in defense of this woman. She is a nice looking woman, so you mean to tell me she has not dated anybody that recognizes her? She had nobody come out saying, yeah, I dated her at one time. Maybe she is a little insane. Nobody. It's like this woman never existed. No coworkers recognize her. No classmates recognize her. This is very bizarre for the internet. When it comes to the internet, any story that goes past a week is already old. And this story happened on, I believe, July 6th. So we're going well past a week, almost 2 weeks, and nobody has spoken out in knowing this woman. That is a first for the internet. I will paint a better picture to let you see just how bizarre this is. Think of any video of a person freaking out. Matter of fact, the original narrative on this woman was that she was a racist Karen that accused an African American male sitting next to her of stealing her AirPods. Now think of any quote-unquote Karen video that you have seen. 2 days later, of a video where a person is labeled a Karen, that person has already lost their job. That person has already been receiving death threats. That person is blasted all over the internet. Yet this person, who has so many narratives against them, so much mystery around them, cannot be found on the internet whatsoever. That is truly bizarre. Now, on July 17th, a magazine I've never heard before called Evie Magazine wrote an article about a friend of a friend, so not a direct friend, not a family member, but a friend of this woman, who states that this woman was not drunk and she was frightened by what the man next to her said. So I guess what this is doing is trying to push the green hoodie man narrative, which I really don't believe. But it also happens to state that this woman is not missing, which I find very interesting that it would put that in there, that she is not missing. But if she was never arrested, if she was never detained like multiple reports have stated, then why isn't she just speaking out? And if she does speak out at this point, the conspiracy theories are so rampant that people are going to believe whoever is speaking out is a body double, a clone, not the actual woman, because 2 weeks to a month in internet time is equal to 100 years. When she does speak out, people are going to ask what took her so long, if she wasn't arrested or detained. Just like the woman who got the jab in the hospital, she passed out, and she didn't speak out for another 2 years, to where she looks completely different. And now people are saying this is not the same woman. So if this woman doesn't speak out, if nobody can find her, if no family or friends are speaking out, if the internet can't even find her, one has to ask, is this woman even real? 2 names did come out, and that was Tiffany Gomez and Jenna Wilson, but those names don't check out. There's nothing concrete showing that those names belong to this woman. And you have to ask yourself, not so much to Jenna Wilson, but where do they find the information on a Tiffany Gomez that looks like her? Is this the body double that's going to come out and speak for her? And you have to ask yourself, where did this YouTuber get this woman's photos, Tiffany Gomez's photos? Where did they get this name from? Because you can backmask the photos of the woman who freaked out on her flight, and you won't find any photos similar to what's being pushed out as the Tiffany Gomez. Is this Tiffany Gomez in these photos the body double of this woman who freaked out on her flight? Is this the woman that's going to speak out pretending to be this woman? Because where did this information come from? I scoured the entire internet and have not found anything like this. So where did they get this connection? I could just be bad at research, but I'm sure thousands, if not millions, were also trying to look up information on this woman who freaked out on her flight as well. But only one person found these photos and the name of Tiffany Gomez and made the connection to the woman who freaked out on her flight. But as of right now, it is not confirmed that Tiffany Gomez or Jenna Wilson is this woman. If the internet can't find her and nobody's speaking out saying they know her, does the theories that she's wearing a mask stick? Is she really wearing a mask? Because you see the mask line. Is she concealing her real face? Is it possible she could be a crisis actor concealing her face? Or, we're going to go into the deeper end of the rabbit hole, could she actually be artificial intelligence herself? As crazy as that sounds, you don't know the kind of technology that the government has. Just YouTube Sophia the robot. You don't know how far along they've come to make these artificial intelligent beings look as human as possible. Is it possible the person she was sitting next to said a word or a phrase that she could not recognize? She freaked out saying that person is not a human, because humans don't typically say that word, and she couldn't recognize it in her vocabulary, and she freaked out. Yes, that is the deeper end of the rabbit hole, but hey, you never know. Because like I said, nobody knows who this person is. But if I were to believe any theory, it would be the crisis actor theory. Because even these passengers act very bizarre. They act very calm. Nobody's getting up to look at to what she's looking at. Nobody's recording her seating location, her seating area. Nobody records the person she's freaking out on. These people are acting like actors and actresses. She's acting like an actress. She gets right in front of the camera and does the Baphomet sign. Many people have reported seeing that, and I see that as well. Don't be surprised if we don't hear from this lady ever again. Don't be surprised if this story just gets swept under the rug, and then 2 to 3 years later, she will pop out and do an interview, and she looks completely different. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this channel and you want to see more, please subscribe. If you're already subscribed, please like, as any engagement does help the channel grow. Once again, thank you so much for your support.